There's probably 30 or less distilleries in the country that are doing. Last I did the math, we can fit about 15,000 in here. So this is our fermentation hall and our distillation hall. Everything's done in-house. We don't use any co-packing. I'll be honest, these are some of the best barrels we've ever sent out as single barrels. So
say that again.
I mean, these are honestly some of the better barrels we've released out of for the single barrel program.
So we're finally here in Columbus, Ohio, outside Watershed Distillery. We're gonna pick some cool barrels. Watershed has been one of my favorite distilleries of all time for the value. When I first tried their uncut, unfiltered, I fell in love. I was like, this is the best $50 bottle that I've seen. It has very classic dark chocolate notes that you don't really get from a 4 or 5 year bourbon. Much more decadent than its age. And I'm very excited for today. So let's go in and find out what they have for us. We're gonna pick a few barrels and have a good time. Hey, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ryan, how are you?
How you doing, my friend?
Do you mind the video?
No.
I'm gonna make a nice video. You give me a tour.
Awesome.
And we'll make a nice thing out of
Nice
it.
to meet you. I'm Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Shannon.
Shannon, nice to meet you.
Michael, sing.
Michael?
Sing.
Gotcha. Yes, yeah. Well, so we're gonna kind of start across the street. I'll show you guys the facility first, and then we'll kind of go into the barrel pick. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Perfect. Awesome. All right.
Perfect, man.
Yeah. So Watershed was founded in 2010 by two guys, Greg Lehman and Dave Rigo. They wanted to do something new. They wanted to do something creative. Greg was actually a professional volleyball player for a few years over in Europe.
Oh, Greg.
Yeah.
So before this, I was at Bell of Dayton Dietrich Bourbon. I
Okay.
did some pics with them.
Okay.
And he was speaking about Greg. He was speaking very highly of
Oh,
Greg,
that's
so,
funny.
yeah.
Small world, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so those two guys kind of teamed up. So Greg did the professional volleyball thing. Dave Rigo, his background was kind of in just general sales. He worked with a plumbing supplies company for 5 or 6 years before they founded the distillery. But they kind of got together and decided, you know what, we're sick of this corporate world. Like, let's start a business. Let's do something. Let's make it our own. And so they looked at the Columbus area. They're both from Columbus. And the original idea was a brewery. They looked at the area, and there were 4 breweries in Columbus at the time, and they thought that was kind of oversaturated, which is really funny because now inside the 270 like outer belt, I think there's like 40 breweries. Since, yeah. So they kind of missed the mark on the brewery scene, but there were no distilleries at the time either. So they thought, let's try distilling. So 2010, I believe September of 2010 is when they got their licenses, they got their permits, stills were installed, and that was their first official day of business, was back in September 2010. The original idea was they wanted to make different kinds of spirits, but to start the company, start the business, it was vodka and gin. Obviously, that's quick turnaround. They can distill it, they can sell it. That's kind of the hustle move to kind of keep the lights on.
And the restaurant.
Exactly, yeah. The restaurant came a little bit later at the start of it. For about the first 4 years, 4 to 6 years, it was just Dave and Greg. Just those two guys. They would have friends come in and help bottle and like have some friends come in. If they were doing a big mash one day, they would have them help come in and do some mashing. But for about, like I said, 4 to 6 years, it was just those two guys. And then 2016 rolls around, they started the restaurant. We upgraded our distillation method, so you can look through those glass panes right there. So we have a continuous column still that I'll show you guys once we go into that area. And we also have a pot still that we distill different spirits on both of those guys. So yeah, 2016, we kind of upgraded equipment, started the restaurant. Things were going great. Business was booming. 2020 rolls around, that completely pretty much stops everything. We were making bourbon, they were making a lot of gin, a lot of vodka, and that pretty much shut everything down pretty quickly. Luckily, they were able to pivot. The government did allow us to kind of transition, start making hand sanitizer. So that's what most of the distilleries in the area were doing. They were kind of switching gears just to keep people employed, keep money coming in.
Yeah.
We get past all of that to where we are kind of today. We're producing about 1,000 barrels a year between the column still and the pot still that I'll show you guys. But yeah, that's kind of the start to finish where we're at and where we've been.
And where does the name Watershed come from?
That's a great question. So it kind of is an homage to Greg's volleyball days. So he played college, played for Ohio State right down the road, and he got a couple offers from some teams overseas. He got a degree in business, so he wanted to see where this volleyball thing was going to go. As you can imagine, pro volleyball players in Europe don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they kind of were just hustling over there for a couple years. And Greg's a professional volleyball in Europe, isn't making a lot of money. Him and his wife moved over there. You know, they're eating ramen every day, and you know, it's hard to make a living playing.
It's a tough life.
Yeah, totally. So one day, him and his wife were kind of out. He played for a Swiss team over in Switzerland, and they were out just kind of, you know, driving around, looking at the city and whatnot, and they found an Aldi, which, you know, coming from America, those are everywhere. They're like, oh, this is great. We can get a bunch of
Good
groceries
price.
for cheap. Yeah, good prices.
Yeah.
So they go and they fill up a cart full of stuff and they bring it back. And Greg's like, this was awesome. I'm glad we found this place. The next day, he goes to volleyball practice. And he's like, guys, I found an American store. We filled up our refrigerator. We got all this food. It was awesome. And all of his teammates were kind of giving him a weird look, and you know, like that death glare and that look of shame. And he's like, oh no, I did something wrong. And one of his teammates was like, well, why did you go buy all these groceries when John down the road, you can buy fresh eggs from him? Jim up on this side of the road bakes fresh bread every day. Like, why aren't you supporting the local guys that keep the community growing and keep the town running? And so that's where kind of the idea for Watershed first started, was when Greg came back from that practice and was like, man, this town is really built on community. It's about partnerships. It's about relationships. That's what he built this business on, was building those relationships. If you look at how watersheds form and what watersheds are, it's where different bodies of water come together in a confluence, and in where these bodies of water connect, towns will pop up and communities will pop up. Ooh. And that's where the whole idea kind of comes together and synergizes. Was we wanted to build a place about community for the people. And that's where kind of the Watershed name comes.
Just a small distillery by the banks of the rivers.
Exactly. Yeah, we've got the Scioto River over here on one side and the Olentangy on the other. Perfect watershed right there where they come together. So why not name a distillery after that?
Makes total sense.
Yeah. I'm going to introduce you guys. This is Andrew. He's our home place manager. I didn't even see you back there.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so...
I snuck in.
Oh, gotcha. So Andrew takes care of all of our events that happen on site.
Yeah.
He just hosted a great event on Wednesday. We had a couple partners in. Anything like that, Andrew takes care of for us.
Very cool.
Anything that happens on this campus is my responsibility.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
Tours, events, any kind of experience that we're doing here, that's my role, is to kind of pilot that.
Yeah. You guys ready to see the still house?
Sounds good.
All right, awesome. We're going to go this way. All right. So this is our fermentation hall and our distillation hall. So I talked to you guys earlier about we have two different types of distillation systems. So obviously this is our pot still system. It's a hybrid pot, but it's essentially a pot still distillation system. So it's batch typed. This runs all of our gin. So we make a 4-peel gin, a chamomile gin, and a strawberry flavored 4-peel gin. This machine does all of that for us. We also run a little bit of our apple brandy. We make an in-house apple brandy here as well. So it does a little bit of our apple brandy. And then we'll run occasional bourbon experimental batches on here as well. So this is kind of our universal experimentation still, so to speak, when it's not running our gin. Straight behind us, you see those copper columns over there? That's our column still. That almost exclusively runs bourbon and rye. So right now our distillation schedule is 24 hours a day, 3 days a week.
I have one question. So pretty much most of the distilleries that I've been to, they use Rendo. This is a new company I've never heard of, Cote. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so this still is made in Germany. The company in the United States that really is the experts on this is called Koval Distillery. That's who a lot of folks go to with these types of systems if they have any problems. What is it?
Koval Distillery?
Yes.
Oh, that's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we picked the barrel with them too. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they probably have a very similar setup.
So it looks like a rubber stamp kind of.
Where at?
The still itself, it looks like a rubber stamp.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So the helmet shape allows us to get a little bit more reflux as we distill. So what's happening is that vapor is going up into that helmet, and then it basically turns into a liquid and will drip back down into the pot.
So it's getting distilled multiple times within the same distillation.
Exactly, yeah, and that's what the columns are also used for as well. So each one of these sight glasses is a plate, and each time the vapor goes into that plate and turns back into a liquid, it's called rectification. It's basically cleaning up the spirit even more. Whenever we run bourbon, we typically just use the pot and the helmet. We don't engage any of the columns. But when we run our gins, we'll use this first column, sometimes the second column. So it all just kind of depends on what we're running, what spirit we're making. The third is very rarely used. We use it very occasionally when we're trying to make our vodka. So we turn a little bit of our apple brandy that we make a little bit of neutral out of that. So we have to get it above 190. That's the only time that this column's engaged. But that's only maybe a week a year that we have to do that. Yeah. The bourbon workhorse is back there.
So that's exclusively bourbon.
Bourbon
this
and
is
rye.
for vodka, gin, apple brandy.
Yep, you got it.
So none of your bourbon is pot still. They're all column still bourbons.
Correct, unless it's an experimental run. Our main mash bill that's 72% corn, 21 rye, that is all done on the column still.
And then how have you seen the difference between the golf dimples and the flat fermenters? Is there any difference in taste, would you say?
Not much in taste. Typically, we're able to control the temperature a little bit better with those are cooling jackets, essentially, is what those are. So we're able to control the fermentation temperature a little bit better. These ones, instead of the dimples, there's coils on the inside that cool it.
You've seen that other distilleries, they will have water running through them.
Yep, exactly. So we have a chiller outside that we run glycol through that will run through those coils to keep it cool. This one also doesn't have agitation. That's probably the biggest difference other than the cooling. I would say the agitation factor is bigger than the actual cooling. Because this one, the open top, will develop a grain bed that you see, like if you're in Kentucky and you see the fermentations that have those really thick grain beds on the top. This one will do the same thing. Now with the other ones, you can probably hear that really quiet humming. There's agitators on the top that are continually stirring it. That allows that grain bed to stay in suspension, so we're able to convert more sugars. So that's kind of how the difference is between this one and that one. Awesome. All right, you guys ready to see the barrel room?
Of course.
Awesome. Let's go. Like I said, I got some really special barrels pulled down for you, so hopefully you like a couple of them.
Excited? So I've heard a lot that you guys do something called the slow water reduction.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So it all falls under this programming that I started in 2025 called Élevage. Élevage is something that French brandy makers have been doing for hundreds of years. Basically, élevage, the meaning of it, is to raise a spirit as if it was a living, breathing organism and to really take care of it through every step of the process. The first thing kind of on the back end that we do with this is our barrel quality, right? So before we would get our barrels from Speyside Cooperage down in Jackson, and they were only air seasoned outside for 6 months, and then they would throw them in a kiln to dry them the rest of the way. That's not necessarily ideal for longer maturation and really good quality maturation style, because you're not getting that tannin breakdown of all those greener, fresher tannins. So we went from a 6-month open air season stave to an 18-month. So we added a full 12 months to that seasoning time.
Brings the tannins out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to make the liquid so much softer in the end product. And then we also added in toasting. We didn't do any toasting options at the time. Now we're doing medium and heavy toasted options, as well as a wider range of char layers. So that's all kind of on the front end. On the back end, what you were asking, Arnav, is the slow water reduction. So we've aged our bourbon for 4, 5, 6 years. Now we want to make sure we continue to take care of all that liquid. We nurture all that hard work we put into making these barrels, right?
Yeah.
So what we've done, instead of crash diluting our liquid in 5 minutes essentially, so the system says we're at 120, we need to go to 90, we add in 100 gallons of water, done, right? Now we're doing this over 3 months, a 3-month time span. So much, much, much longer time for the water to connect with the alcohol, to interact with it, and basically bond properly. I talked about those hydrogen molecules and how they're fighting each other when you crash it. When you add it in as slow as we are, it's more of a physical change. The hydrogen is bonding together properly and they're not fighting each other. That heat's not created, and you're able to maintain those fatty acid chains and keep those intact. So when you taste the side-by-side, the slow water reduced stuff, you're gonna find has a much longer finish, a much more a velvety mouthfeel, whereas the crash diluted is gonna be a slightly more bitter, a slightly more
rough.
Yes, exactly. Just not refined.
And when you do this slow water reduction, do you, because there has to be some sort of math to it, right? Like specific barrel is at 136 proof because it was in heat or whatever the reason might be, and I want to get it to 107 proof. So do you measure the amount of gallons in the barrel and then measure the amount of water that goes in, or does that go into the tote and then sort of do the slow water? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. We'll actually walk back there and see it as well. It's all kind of, this is where the art kind of comes in as well. Basically what I do is I get everything to a stable proof right off the bat. So if my batch is 12 barrels, I try to get all 12 barrels, like we'll say around 115 to get started. That way when I do my additions, I don't have to put, you know, maybe five liters in this barrel and this one only needs 1. Everything's kind of the same. I do an addition, I check the proofs, and I taste every step of the way. So we're doing an on average between 10 additions per reduction. And I'm checking it along the way the entire time just to make sure it's not being reduced too quickly. You'll start to taste those fatty acid chain breakdown if you're going too quickly. I know that's not super interesting, but it's kind of like where the art comes in. It's where my expertise.
The patience.
Exactly. I have to judge. Okay, this barrel needs some more time. Okay, the next edition we're not going to put quite as much water in it. So it's kind of. I let the barrels tell me what they need. All right, yeah, we'll continue to walk down this way. I'll show you guys the bottling line. The brick that's basically the shell of the building really allows for a really stable environment. So it doesn't get really, really hot in the summer. It doesn't get really, really cold in the winter. So it's actually, it's like having one giant honey hole for all these barrels. Like you hear in Kentucky, like the middle ricks and the middle rows are the sweet spots. Imagine that. But it's the whole room. We've got just one giant honey hole. So it does tend to be a little bit dry in here in the winter time specifically. Summertime, when it's really peak summer and it's been really dry, I fight with that a little bit too. A technique that I learned though from guys down in Texas. You guys ever been to or heard of Iron Root?
I have.
Yeah. Jonathan, what he does, he taught me a technique where if you do have an environment that's really, really dry and you need to humidify it, just take a hose and spray down the floors. The humidity is good for another 5 or 6 hours, and then I'll do it again before I leave, and we're good. So that's kind of how I control the humidity factor. Awesome. Yeah, we'll show you guys the bottling line, and then we'll get started.
And then how many barrels are in this warehouse, and how many can come in more of? Like, what's the capacity?
Yeah, great question. So currently there's about 4,400 barrels in here. Last I did the math, we can fit about 15,000 in here. The eventual plan is we'll take out all that racking, and this will be exclusively barrel warehousing.
And all of this is distilled here?
Correct. Yeah. Well, no, outside of these barrels right here, these are the only ones we do use a little bit of source liquid for that Red Label 4-year, but everything else in the portfolio is ours. So I would say 92% of everything that comes out of here is our stuff.
Very cool.
So behind us, this is our bottling line, and this might be a little boring, but this may be my favorite part of the entire operation, just because this line, every bottle that you get from Watershed, whether it's vodka, gin, brandy, bourbon, everything comes off this machine. So everything starts kind of up here on the left side. This is the track that all the glass comes into. So they decase it, it goes on the conveyor belt here, and then it comes into the first phase of bottling. So this is where the bottles actually get filled. So the liquid's pumped into the hopper up there through these hoses on the bottom. It fills that hopper, the bottles come in through the conveyor. It pushes those heads up, and then just gravity fills all those bottles. It's a 8-head carousel, so it's very, very efficient. The next part of phase 1 is it's going to get a cork, and it's going to get leveled off. So it goes around this carousel here. The bottle's leveled off to exactly 750 milliliters, and then it pushes a cork down into the bottle before it exits here. Phase 2 is the labeling side of things. So the first thing that happens is this is where all our tamper seals go, our capsules. So it's going to throw a capsule on through this little air compressor here. This cup is heated. So that heat treatment is going to come down on top of that, seal up the bottle. And then the final part of phase 2 is it's going to get a front and a back label, come to the packing table, and then the guys are packing away inside our cases with our beautiful finished product.
Very cool.
So everything's done in-house. We don't use any co-packing. We do all the distillation ourselves outside of, like I said, that like 8% that we blend in with our 4-year. And we really take a lot of pride in ourselves on that. We try to do as much as we can in-house. And that's very hard to do at a craft level. So
yeah.
we're very proud that we were able to get to that level. All right, enough talk. You guys ready to taste?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. We'll start off with that, the 90 proof tasting work just to get acclimated a little bit. I'll start popping these bottles open. We can start getting acclimated and we'll get into it. This is the crash diluted. So this is the Ohio 4-year with the crash diluted method of proofing.
That's the apple one?
This is the bourbon finished in apple brandy cask. So this is the one that I was also telling you has a little bit of that source liquid in it as well.
I can smell through the source liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
Yeah, so
it's just all in my head because you said it.
I mean, it could be. So we use MGP. Everybody uses MGP, so it's a very, very recognizable profile. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to pick that out.
This is crash.
This is the crash, yeah. So for me, decent amount of oak influence there, some sweetness. And for me, just because I taste it all the time, I can taste that sharpness, a little bit of that bitterness.
I can too. It's in the front of the tongue.
Right, yes, exactly, right in the front.
It's like a nail polish remover spike. It goes
Exactly.
away.
Yes.
It goes away, and then the finish, you can tell it's like Watershed dark chocolate note that comes through.
Yep, and it's super short too. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like there, and then it's gone like 4 seconds later.
But when you first taste it, for the first 1 second, you think this is a bad whiskey, though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It like you said, it kind of goes away very quickly,
Yeah.
but that's where I was talking about that hydrogen is kind of fighting each other, and the pH is raised just a little bit. You're not getting that viscosity from the fatty acid chains. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's very, very mid, I would say. All right, so now this is the slow water reduced bottle. So this is whiskey that I put the batch together, reduced it for about 3.5 months. But yeah, we'll see if you guys can taste the difference here.
This is the hydrogen one or no?
Yeah, this is the one
You
that's...
guessed it.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, we're not adding hydrogen. It's just the hydrogen molecules are bonded better together.
Is this the same exact barrel, or?
So it's not the same barrels, but these are from the same lot of barrels.
Okay.
So it's as close as you can get to being the same barrels without them actually being from the same batch.
And is it the same proof?
Same proof, 90 proof.
That's not believable.
It's night and day, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
completely different.
The proof point feels very different.
Yeah, it's much more flavor. You can taste the oak. That velvetyness comes in, coats the mouth really well. The finish lasts longer than 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So
It's like
yeah.
night and day.
Yeah. The only thing we changed is how quickly we added the water. That's it.
Have you ever done this with the same exact barrel or same exact batch, so that's the only factor you're changing?
We've not done it to that degree yet. We're not quite there as far as how we want to do that marketing wise. There's been talks about doing that with like splitting a batch in half and doing half of it as crash and half of it as slow water reduced. We did do a collaboration with Bruzel back last June where we did this kind of same thing. They purchased some of the Red Label 4-year, and some of it was crashed, and some of it was slow water reduced. And I actually just saw a post today that those are starting to make their way out to the market. But yeah, we've never actually done it to that degree where exactly half the batch we crash and the other half we slow water reduce.
This is like I like cast strength, and I want to show a low proof guy why I like cast strength. I'll give them this, and I say, hey, this is low proof, but it
Yeah.
has all the
No, you're
all the
good.
good things of a cast strength barrel
Absolutely.
strength of bourbon. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's, like I said, we're able to maintain all those fatty acid chains. So it drinks with it's a low proof option with all the viscosity of a high proof option.
Yeah.
Huge-
I learned something new today. This
huge
is
benefits.
This is crazy to me. And who came up with the idea of doing this?
So I'm the one that went to the class and learned about it, and then I implemented it here at Watershed.
Could we see like how you do the slow water reduction?
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, no worries.
It's a
Yeah.
little bit of a hike, but yeah, let's go back and
Yeah,
see. I'll show
no
you
worries.
I'll show you the process. The original concept started. I bought some 1 liter plastic bottles from Amazon, poked some holes in them, and just let the water kind of drip into them.
Wow.
Now you'll see back here, I've modernized it a little bit. I've increased the bottle size a little bit, and I've put basically it's a controlled irrigation dripper on the end of it, and then that allows me to control the flow a little bit better. But this is the slow water reduction area. So this is where kind of everything happens. All of these different rows are different reductions that are in process. But yeah, so this is how we're doing it now. Let me grab a previous bottle.
This is so old school. They fill this up with water and they have a dripper. And then they will put the dripper in the bunghole.
Yeah, yeah. So this is kind of version 1. These are just like cheap plastic bottles from Amazon, just to kind of get everything going. And then this is the version we're in now. So this is a lab grade. It's like propylene something, a lab word. I don't know very well. But basically, it discourages bacteria growth. So I don't have to wash those as much, and they're a lot bigger. So this is obviously, as you can see, is just a 1 liter. This will hold 2 liters at a time. So whenever I do a reduction, I'll fill those up, flip them upside down, just like this, and they drip right in.
And you do 1 per barrel?
Yes. Well, no, over the life of a addition, I'll do up to 5 liters. So I'll fill that thing up twice.
And can you adjust the frequency here? Like, oh, I want it to go faster. I want it to go slower.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So these knobs will turn a little bit, so I can open it way up to increase the flow, or you tighten it back down to decrease the flow. Right now I've got them set to empty. These completely full take about 2.5 hours to empty. And so 5 liters a day. I fill this up twice and I'm good to go. And then here's the paperwork I was showing you about. So I proof the barrels every time we do an addition. I keep track of how many liters each barrel's getting. Everything's tracked. So we have all the information of exactly how long each reduction takes. Yeah, that's the whole process. Like I said, not anything super high tech, but it's very, very effective.
Very effective. And do all of your barrels go in entry proof at 100 proof or?
So our barrel entry proof is 115. So it's a little bit lower than the industry limit, so to speak, that 125 range. And what we found for our maturation environment and our aging requirements, it gives us a little bit more of that wood sugar extraction. We're not extracting too many tannins at once, just because we don't get that really extreme temperature fluctuations like you would in a open air rickhouse. We found it gives us a lot sweeter flavors, and it's a more balanced whiskey.
This one's
this is actually a batch of apple brandy. I don't know if I talked too much about our brandy, but these are on an even longer reduction. So these barrels are going to take 6 months to reduce instead of 3. And the benefits with this are they're much more noticeable. Because like I said at the very beginning, these were techniques developed specifically for brandy. So the quality that we're seeing from these as compared to how we were doing it before has been night and day.
It's crazy to me how none of the bigger distilleries have caught on to the slow water reduction yet.
Yeah. I tell people it's kind of one of those things. To me, it's only a matter of time. There's probably 30 or less distilleries in the country that are doing slow water reduction. We're one of the very few that are doing it inside the barrel. The advantage we get with doing it in the barrel is as the whiskey reduces, we're still extracting flavors from the wood, right? So if the whiskey starts at 120 and we're reducing it in the barrel, as that proof comes down, you're extracting different water-soluble sugars. So as opposed to people harvesting it into totes or something, and you're just diluting the whiskey, we're reducing and still getting flavor extraction.
So the water is also picking up some wooden flavor.
Exactly. All right. So how do you guys want to start? We can go like younger stuff to older stuff, or we can just kind of make our way down the palates.
We can, we can make our way down the palates.
Okay, perfect.
Not
We'll
let
start
the
down here.
age statement give us any bias.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah.
I want to go for what tastes the best.
I love that. I love that. There's so many people that get hung up on age statements.
Yeah. A higher age statement just means it wasn't ready before.
There you go. Absolutely. There we go. You're going to run the thief on off. Yep. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm not touching that thief today. So this whole pallet is from our 2018 stock. So these barrels are all about 8 years old. A lot of brown sugar on that one.
Yeah.
What's that? No, this is straight bourbon.
It tastes like a
Like a red wine.
sweet wine finish.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, historically our bourbons are very, very sweet from that. I attribute it to the environment, number one, but number two, that char 5 that I was telling you guys about. It just opens up the grain so wide. It pulls out so much wood sugar.
You know, it's in the nose. The nose is like the Pedro Jimenez.
Yeah, oh yeah. Those brown sugars, those
Yeah.
heavy caramels. Yeah, there's a ton of it there. All right, next one. So this palette was really fun for me when I was looking for it. All 4 of these barrels are sister barrels, so they were all barreled on the same day, but I'm excited to see what the flavor profiles are on them, because we typically see a lot of variance with our sister barrels. Yeah. Maybe there's not a lot, but I'm thinking there might be, so we'll see what you guys think too. All right, everybody ready? Man, look at the color on that one. Very dark.
Maybe similar proof.
I would imagine it probably is, but we'll see. I'll tell you.
This one's a very, very different nose.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit higher, 132.7. So a little bit higher proof. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying about
It's very
the
brandy-like.
Yeah, even on the nose, it's very like round and
Yeah.
a little bit of that corn's coming through.
And lactic. Are these reduced or no?
These are cast strength. Yeah, these are all cast strength.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's a very. It's a little short of a finish, but it's beautiful.
I agree. Yeah, a little bit. I think the finish is a little stronger on the first barrel, but to what you were saying, Arnav, I think the front end sweetness is a lot better than that first one.
Yeah, I can get the finish is very light. Mm-hmm. The other one had a really strong finish.
That finish is those oak tannins are a little bit stronger on that finish too.
Yeah.
It's not long, but that spice really comes through.
It's a spiky finish.
This is number 3.
This is number 3. Yep. And again, these guys are all the same age. These are all sister barrels. They were all barreled the same day at the same proof.
Shannon, would you like to pull?
Yeah, you would. Come on. You can't come all the way from Las Vegas and not thief a barrel. Look at that. Yeah, you've done this before.
I think you did less spillage than any of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. I spilled a little.
Yeah. I think this is the best nose so far.
My grandmother's brother.
Oh, yeah. There's-
Gingerbread cookie.
Yeah, it's just balanced.
Yeah, it's gingerbread cookie for me.
Absolutely.
It's like a Christmassy nose.
There's like no bite to it either on the aroma.
The palate, second one is best. The nose, this one's best, and the finish, the first one is best. And then, okay, I think the first one is the best still.
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
kind of, I'm surprised with the palate on this one. It's kind of, it's very sweet and it's oily, but there's not a ton of.
It's not bold.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
yeah,
bold
it's
and
very
complex.
mellow.
It's mellow, and the finish is even shorter than that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, that's the shortest finish.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, it's almost
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious
Yeah.
what the proof is.
You only need one person tasting.
Oh wow. Okay, so of the four, so we said this was the most mellow, right?
This is the highest proof.
It's the highest proof. 135.0.
That's my favorite proof. I like one. I think my sweet spot proof is 136.6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's shocking, really. It's that mellow for how proofy it is.
Not in a rush. You look like you're in a rush. You're jumping all around.
I'm happy to drink whiskey.
Absolutely. Best way to enjoy it, right?
Right.
With friends, people who enjoy it as well. So, cheers, guys.
Cheers, man. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Thanks for making the trip, guys.
being-
Of course, here.
The best for last.
That's right.
Yeah.
Healthy.
I think I'm with Arnav. I think this one, I still like the nose on this one.
Yeah. Best nose, best overall, and best palate. No, best finish and best palate.
This one to me is more like pastry, like bakery.
Yeah. I think this is the second longest finish.
Ooh, this one's a little bit dry too.
Yeah.
A little bit of that dry.
Tannicky.
Very tannic. I mean, 4 good barrels for all different reasons. Just kind of depends on what you guys like, what you think will be the best. Very nice. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think that one's probably my overall pick. This one's a close second for me.
Yeah. Same. That one was really good.
You got it, Arnav.
I don't know how many
Yep.
we're picking, so.
So this is like every day for me.
Oh, there we go. He's got it now. Oh, yeah. Yay! Redemption! So this is a barrel from 2017. I've got 6 of those barrels left. This one is one of the oldest barrels we have in the warehouse.
Look how dark it is.
Nothing here. Nothing in this one. I promised while you were gone we didn't
So you guys didn't drink it all, did you?
we extracted off it and sent to DC. Yeah, look at this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's about a quarter full. That one is short.
So we need to flip it over.
I'll get a drill.
This is what I did yesterday.
Oh yeah?
Like drilling into like 15 different barrels.
That's awesome.
20.
That's it.
Oh, it's very grainy. Yeah.
It's very grain forward, but wait until the finish. The finish is the best part of this one.
Oh, very spicy. Woo! I don't like the front palate, but the finish is phenomenal. The finish really shines on that one.
I think I like that one.
You liked it a lot.
I like it.
It's
You
got a
ask
nice finish.
You ask Ryan what's his favorite child, he'll say the oldest one.
Right. Yes. I'm gatekeeping all the old barrels, only for special single barrel customers.
So this one is my favorite one. A lot of dark chocolate. This is basically what I imagined. Whenever I tasted this, when the rep brought it into the store, this is what it reminds me of. Their small batch, uncut, unfiltered, basically tastes similar to this, but this is like a more elevated experience because it takes you through a little bit of spice and then cinnamon on the start. On the nose, it's just very sweet. So the nose is very sweet, cakey, sponge cake type, and then the palate goes into cinnamon, and then the finish is just very heavy dark chocolate. It just punch you with the dark chocolate. So that's what I imagine Watershed to taste like. This one I forgot how it tastes, but it's my second favorite. And then that's my third favorite, this one. this one. What's your description of it?
That one was very, very sweet that I remember of it. Not a super heavy spice profile, but it had this really nice caramel up front. A little bit of, I was getting some red fruit, like maybe some raspberries, like a little tiny bit of strawberry maybe. Just overall, a really, really nice bourbon.
And what's the age statement on this?
That one is 7 years old.
Sounds good, man. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, of course.
I'm
of
sorry
course.
for keeping you past 5.
No worries at all. I'm glad you guys tasted some good stuff. You picked some great barrels. I mean, these are, I'll be honest, these are some of the best barrels we've ever sent out as single barrels. So
Say that again.
I mean, these are honestly some of the better barrels we've released out of for the single barrel
I
program.
changed it. we got the first one.
So,
Don't worry.
yeah, no. Thank you guys for coming in. Like this was great. This was great. There's a lot of good stuff here.